Season 2 is finally here for CS, and there's a lot of things you need to know that relate to CS2 investing. Now, starting off here with just what this update is going to be bringing, obviously, we're going to be saying goodbye to Premier Season 1 and hello to Season 2. Now, with this, you're going to be getting a new medal and some other things, but most importantly, there's going to be a big update. Obviously, we've got Train finally coming in, Vertigo finally going out. We're going to be talking about souvenir packages and what it means for those. M4A4 is going to be getting cheaper, which is really big. If we want to look at previous updates, when this happened, usually we saw a relatively strong spike in prices for a lot of these skins that were applicable. Look at what happened with previous updates with the M4A1S, and we can see that during Operation Riptide they went up significantly because they got a strong boost. We don't know if that's necessarily going to happen one for one here, but it is a possibility these prices could be going up. And then talking about souvenir packages, a lot of people are going to look to the Vertigo souvenir package and look at what happened with the Dust 2 souvenir package. The Dust 2 souvenir package went absolutely crazy because it had that gold arabesque. Unfortunately, the Vertigo package is not on the same level. I definitely think there is the possibility for some growth here, but I also think it's a strong possibility it could just flop entirely. It's not enough demand, and when we look at souvenir packages overall, they're just something that people overall can't have too much interest in because they're consistently coming back, and there's so many Vertigo souvenir packages out there in the current moment. SkinSwap just went ahead and dropped their biggest update ever. Not only are they sponsoring you with that top link in the description, but they're also introducing backpacks, allowing you to buy any item on the site, and it's going to be personally held for you. Their trading feature is often told to be the best in the business, offering near instant trades, taking under 30 seconds right now. And their selling feature is instant as well, offering PayPal, crypto, and tons of different options if you're looking to get your money this second. And finally, they've always got that 40% deposit bonus if you're looking to pick up some brand new skins, so try them out today. There's no reason not to. Alright, now we finally got some Shanghai data in that's going to be representative of the after sale period, which is really good to know for investing, and obviously it is not looking too strong if you want to look at the data right here. Obviously, all the application numbers are up, but that's mostly in part due to the fact that you can now get them at 25 cents rather than $1. I don't think people are really having a strong investment opportunity for Shanghai for the most part. Stickers look relatively similar. If we want to look at the ROIs, they're actually sitting quite significantly higher than we usually see. Specifically, the Contender sticker capsule is at 81%. This is the one that's got the most unique stickers out of all of these. When we're talking about an investment opportunity, this is the one potential area I definitely think you have with this. You've got a lot of good looking stickers because, you know, they are still relatively good looking and a lot of unique things. Obviously, this could change when we come to the next major and we see a lot of these hollows repeated again, but at least at this current moment, that's the only one that I would say even has some potential investment opportunity. Now, talking about everything relating to a train collection, if we want to look at the old train collection, the 2021 from Riptide, we can see that a lot of these skins are on a very strong trajectory. The truth is, I don't think this is actually going to change whether we get a new train collection or whether the old one is still there. These skins are always going to be solid investments because they're limited in supply. There's no more of them that can be created, and they're only being destroyed because of trade-ups. Now, with that being said, I actually don't think it's very smart for Valve to reuse this in terms of the Austin Major. They've got a strong opportunity here for a 2025 train collection, which one, they could put into the Armory, which would definitely be very cool and increase the sale because we know that's falling off. But more importantly too, if we want to look at the structure of how Valve is setting up these souvenir packages, they've got gray skins, they've got light blue skins. That's how Valve is making their money. They're making their money because you look at that red skin, you don't think your odds are 1 in 4,000. No, you think your odds are significantly better than that, and that's why people are consistently opening up souvenir packages despite them having the worst ROI in the entire game for you to open up anything. It's absolutely crazy how much money Valve makes off souvenir packages because of this deception. With that being said, they put it to a new strategy here where we've got this old train collection. They're going to be making significantly less money because you're going to be able to open up a lot more of those high tier items. They're not going to seem as rare, they're not going to be as expensive, and therefore it's going to psychologically make people open up less of these packages. Now, when we're talking about everything related to the Armory, it's really been around that deagle over the past couple of weeks. Obviously, we saw the shoot up and now obviously the drop off, but there's one area that's really been going under the radar, and that's talking about investing into these collection skins. Now, obviously, because these are active duty, technically, we don't really want to make an investment into them because the amount of them out there could be unlimited at this point. It can only keep on going up. But there's one huge piece of information that just came out, and that's going to be this right here. This is the total amount of industrials, which is those light blue skins at every single collection. And if you want to look at it, obviously Sport and Fields is leading the pack, Overpass right behind it, but look at that graphic collection. It's at nearly like 25 to 30% of what we're seeing for those other numbers, which is absolutely insane. That's such a low number, and that's a huge potential inside of this area. Now, obviously, if you want to look at this graph right here, this is Canadian dollars, but you can see it makes sense because the graphic collection, if we want to look at the field tested, is the most expensive among the three, but not by a significant margin, and that's where I think a lot of interest lies. I'm not making an investment into the Armory collections just yet because I don't think it's really smart. We don't know how long they're going to be sticking around, but if we want to look at this right here, the graphic collection by a mile seems to be the most consistent opportunity when we're talking about an investment. It's just maybe 10 to 15% more expensive expensive, but it's got 70% less skins out there. That's a crazy comparison and something I definitely think you should consider if you're trying to make an investment into the Armory right here. On top of that, the case market right now is in a very interesting predicament because all of our active duty cases seem to be going up quite significantly over the past couple of months. The Dreams and Nightmares just cracked $2, which is absolutely crazy, and if we want to look at the unboxing numbers, we're definitely seeing these cases being the front runners, which is not too unexpected. Honestly, the active duty cases and the purchases will usually make up about 75%. We're sitting right around that number currently, but if we want to talk about our rare cases as well, they're in a very strong position. Most of them really haven't been doing too much over the past week, which is not really unexpected. When we look at the past month or two, we see a lot of growth happening for these, so the fact that we've reached a little bit of a stagnant period, honestly nothing for concern inside of this. One extremely important thing to note is in a previous video we talked about the overall case number listings on the market and how it dropped to a significantly lower level than we have seen in, I think, pretty much the history of this game. With that being said, we are now back up about 20% higher than what we were seeing at that number that was super low originally. Obviously we're still down significantly overall, but it seems like this little hype period for these cases and specifically buying them off the market has passed a little bit, but definitely a very interesting thing to keep your eye out on is the fact that cases are still disappearing. We've just got a couple more being listed in this current moment. Now, we commonly talk about how Paris is the most overinvested investment that really has been coming up to date. Obviously, if we want to look at the number of capsules sold, it was in the tens and tens of millions. I mean, it was absolutely insane. The capsules are worth nothing pretty much now, but there was one really good thing that came from that, and that's going to be the teams that participated in Paris got a very strong boost to their overall economy, except for one. That's Into the Breach has officially closed down today after being accused of laundering over $500,000. Absolutely crazy something like this has been going on, and the fact that they just immediately ceased all operations, which obviously includes the CS team. What's funny enough about this is just days before that Steel and a couple of the iBuyPower people who had a match fixing scandal 10 years ago are about to be unbanned. Coincidence? I don't know, but it's unfortunate for everyone in Into the Breach. Another interesting thing going on is the agent market, and that's specifically because of how weird it is. If we want to look at something like the professionals, we can see that all of them in the past 30 days are roughly around the same amount down, between 15 and 25%. Honestly, not too uncommon inside of the agent market, but instead, if we want to look at the SWAT, we can actually see quite the opposite of that. They're all up around 15 to 20%. It's very interesting that we see this polarizing of a situation happen inside of the same area. I wish I had a specific answer for you, but it just seems like generally speaking, people are starting to go for the cheaper agents rather than the ones that are already developed, already quite expensive, because we can see the professionals are coming in around $50 to $60 on the higher end, which is a very strong price point for an agent in today's market. And I think honestly that's very on par with what we're seeing for the overall market. People are trying to get into cheaper investments right now. That's why we see these cheaper rare cases having such a strong period of the past month. Overall, people are wanting cheap investments that have strong potential, and that's what we're seeing here. That's all I got with you, so watching. Have a great rest of your day.